ikhuzele kuku esuthi suthi suthe ikhwele phezu kwethu ikhuzele kuku akhuzi tu siyajulukela akhuzi tu siyajulukela
And thank you to Obaba Umzila for such an enlightening and educative talk, and also to Dr. Tshuma. My question is actually specifically to Dr. Tshuma, because I think Obaba Umzila did address some of the personal challenges that he's faced in his journey. So my question to you is, after you told us about the story going to Cholocho, what you were told or instructed you had to do, which would have challenged some of your core principles, your values, and your personal, beliefs, and essentially Ubuntu, and how you then conduct yourself, because then it probably would have meant you had to choose between holding a job, looking after yourself and family, or being principled and not falling to the pressure. So my question is, on personal reflection, how did you handle that? Do you have, any regrets about the things, some of the challenges you face and how you dealt with them? Thank you.
I was waiting for this question, by the way. This is a very, this is probably one of the most important questions to come out from a conference like this. I have a lot of regret for having worked as a journalist at the Chronicle because of the role of the Chronicle in Kokurahundi massacres. I will have to be honest with you. I only discovered that Jeffrey Yarota had written an editorial comment to say discipline the village. Let me tell you, who called me to search for that file? It was Jonathan Moyo. Because Jonathan Moyo was now fighting with Jeffrey Yarota. Yarota wanted to serialize the breaking silence, and Jonathan Moyo wanted to use me as a counter-attack to say, you are the same person who celebrated the murder of Ndebele people. And we wrote that story in the Chronicle, and Charamba didn't like that. So there was a lot of confusion. But now coming back to principles, let me be honest with you. I still have guys working for the Chronicle now. I talk to them, the editor of the Chronicle now. We fight a lot. He posts something on Facebook, I tell him off, writes a story which I know it's not even propaganda, because propaganda is art. When you study journalism, you study propaganda. Propaganda is art. What they do is lies, pure fabrication. I was part of that. I have to admit that, and I regret that. But one thing I'm proud of myself is the fact that I became the first state media journalist to write about massacres. And it was only on that day when I published that story, which had been badly decapitated, changed. Let me tell you one thing, the headline of that story, why I regret. The headline of that story was, mass graves found, people killed by unknown gunmen. That was the headline of the story. It's there. Next time you go to Bulawayo, the Chronicle Library, you can walk in and ask for the files. You can find that one. I asked the editor of the Chronicle to scan it for me. He refused. Maybe he was scared that he might lose his job. But the editor of the Sunday News comes from Felabusi like me. So we do talk at a personal level. I tell him, daughter, but you are like Judas Iscariot. That's the reason why I left. But let me be honest with you. I worked for the Chronicle because the Chronicle is a paper in Matabeleland. Matabeleland cannot stop producing journalists because there is the Chronicle. The Chronicle, that paper, should belong to sons and daughters of Matabeleland, but it has been hijacked. Sadly enough, there are a lot of regrets. There are certain stories which I wrote, which I knew they were not true, were fabrication. They are. And I've written something which I gave to this academic in St. Andrews who's writing something on people. Yeah, I actually disclosed that. I felt that if I do that, it will help my colleagues who are still in there, for them to know that I made a confession. You get a call from a cabinet minister. Let me tell you the truth. When I was at Chronicle one day, even our own Dumiso Tabengwa called me because I didn't cover his rally. He was in ZANU-PF by then. And then I was told by the editor to interview Tabengwa and write the story as if I was there when I wasn't there. The story was published as if I was there. This is how these people have been writing lies. This is how these people, they disrespect readers. This is how these people, they aided and abated a government that is guilty of mass murder. I have a lot of regrets.
Thank you.